How do you avoid depression? Let's see in this video. Hi guys, this is Valentin, a coach that hates online coaches, and on this channel I share with you all the gold nuggets that I learned from working with more than 800 people and tons of millionaires and investing over 100,000 euros to myself. Subscribe to see more. So how do you avoid depression? In the previous video we talked about the fact that depression is not a problem, it's a symptom. And again, I'm not talking about clinically depressed people that are taking medicine, all of that. I'm talking about normal depression, type of depression that everybody experiences sometimes, or at least once in their lifetime, and the type of depression that you and I could feel potential. So why do we get depressed? Well, there are three main reasons. Either because we prostitute ourselves, either because we live a life that is not congruent to ourselves, either because we're just lost. So let's talk about the first one, prostitution. What is that? It's doing something that you don't want to do, that is not you. It's being somebody who you're not. It's taking a mask on and acting from a persona, and acting as if you're somebody else that you're not actually, and doing some things, thinking things, and saying things that are not actually true, that are not actually you. And when we do it, we betray ourselves. And we do it from all sorts of reasons, because we want to seek approval, because we want people to like us, to accept us, to say that we're good, because we want to be performant, to perceive a certain way. There are a whole bunch of reasons why we do it. But mostly of the time is to get something from the exterior, to get some kind of validation from the exterior. Now, we might like that, and we might want that, but deep inside ourselves we know that that's not who we are. We know that that's not true. That creates a sense of pain, physical pain that you can feel inside of you, and that could lead to depression. And that pain inside your body is telling you, hey dude, you gotta stop. You're not who you pretend you are, and you're not living a life that you'd like to live. And guess what? Most people live that way. And no wonder most people are depressed these days, because everybody just takes a persona and a mask so they could get some approval, they could feel a certain way or certain validation from the exterior. And in reality, they're not that person. And the second thing is living a life that is not congruent to you. And it's similar a little bit to the first point, but this is mostly and mainly about what kind of life are you gonna live and for what reasons. And to give you a quick example, let's say like you're having a job right now and you have some responsibilities, maybe you have some children, maybe you have to take care of somebody. You're gonna stay at a job that you hate just to take care of that person. And you're gonna take a responsibility on your shoulder, and you're gonna live a life that is not congruent to you just to take care of them. And again, I'm not saying here that you should like let them die and just do your thing. What I'm saying here is just an example of you living a life that is not congruent to you. So it might be the job that you have, it might be the spouse or the partner that you have, it might be the friends that you hang around with, it might be the hobbies that you have or the sports that you have. It's literally your lifestyle. It's how do you spend your life? How do you spend your time? And again, if you do stuff that is not aligned with you, that you don't like, but you just force yourself to do it, or you do it because you need to, you're gonna feel that feeling that is kind of like rubbing inside of you, and that could cause depression. And that feeling, again, most people feel. Why? Because most people don't live lives that they actually like. And the big thing here is just to take a step back, pause for a sec, and look like from all the spheres, all the areas of my life, am I really proud of them? Do I really live a life that I like, that is according to me and to my own desires and beliefs? The answer is no, something's gotta change. And now the third reason why most people get depressed is they are lost. And what I mean by this is they don't know what they gotta do, where they have to go, who they should listen to. And this goes back again to authority. By default, from a very young age, we're just pre-wired to respond and to listen to authority. Parents, teachers, bosses, managers. By default, from a very young age, we just go to like from authority to authority to authority. But at no point we're just left alone of, hey, be your own authority. Do whatever the fuck you want and assume the risks and the consequences that come with it. And this can create the sensation of us being lost. Because as long as that authority is there, okay, we're reassured. Now what happens the moment where the authority is no longer there anymore? Or even worse, what happens the moment where you realize that that authority actually screwed you? You're gonna feel that sensation, that pain inside of you. And you're gonna feel lost, because all of a sudden you feel that you need to take decisions, you need to analyze by yourself. and take your own actions, that's freaking scary, because it's reassuring to have somebody or something or someone to tell you what to do. Because guess what? That way you can victimize yourself. Well, that way, if something goes wrong, it's not your fault, it's their fault. And it's very hard to do actions based on our own perspective and analysis, because then we have to take accountability and responsibility for those actions. If you're feeling that sensation of being lost, well, it's a big mark that right now you'd have to make an audit of your life and start living your life based on the analysis and based on your own decisions. And the price that comes with that is assume those decisions. Okay, so now how do we actually prevent this from happening? Well, first things first, you need some structure. You need some structure in your life that is gonna hold things together, because otherwise you're gonna fall apart. Otherwise, as soon as there's gonna be a little breeze of wind, a little event that was not planned, you're gonna just fucking fall apart. So what I mean by structure? Habits. And I know you heard this a lot, but I'm not gonna tell you like you have to work out, read 15 minutes a day, go do the meditation, and like live for 4 hours every single day into a mountain so you can be into the present moment. No, not about that thing. I'm talking about literally very small, easy habits that you can implement that is gonna give you a small sense of structure. An example is 5 minutes of workout every single day. And I know this might sound stupid, or this might sound like, hey, I'm not gonna get results that way. That's disputable, but that's gonna give you at least some kind of structure. And it's gonna create the baseline for you to build that habit even more if you want to later. So 5 minutes of sport, of workout, but every single day. Reading 1 page a day, bro. And I'm not talking about 1 page a day. It's before bed, writing 3 gratitudes, 3 things that you could be grateful for that day. It's just having small habits, less than 1 minute, that will create and provide for you some kind of structure in your life. And for me, it's workout. I started a couple months ago, 7 months now, with 5 minutes a day. And it might sound crazy, but for 1 month I did 5 minutes a day, but every single day. And then I did 10 minutes, and now I'm doing 15 minutes. And guess what? I'm actually getting some pretty cool results with just 15 minutes of workout every single day. So don't subestimate this, the power of just like these small habits is gonna provide structure for you, and you're gonna get results from that. Now, second thing, create or join a support group. And I'm not talking about a little circle where you go and share your problems and where people can reassure you. No, fuck that. I'm talking about a group of people that you can trust, that have pretty much the same direction or life views as you, and that will challenge you when you need it, but are going to support you when you also need it. And the most important thing, a group that you can trust. And this is the key. You need a group of people where you really can trust them, where you can feel comfortable being vulnerable, where you can feel open, where you could share everything. And you need that because we all have ups and downs. Life is ups and downs. It's polar. And you're gonna have some nice moments, you're gonna have some bad moments. And you need a group of people to support you, challenge you, and keep you accountable. So create or join a mastermind, a group of friends. Maybe it's some peers, maybe it's a support group, but you need people that you trust where you can be 100% open. Now, third thing is get a list of non-negotiables. I know everybody in the personal development world tells you like you need clear goals. Clarity is power, and yeah, that's true. But sometimes it's hard to know what you want, because you cannot know if you want something or not if you didn't experience it. There's no way you're not born with experiences. You come here to do experiences. So before starting with what you want, if it's hard for you, start with what you don't want. And what I'm talking here is create a list of non-negotiables. Create a list of things that you are 100% sure that there's no way you can tolerate them. From life, from your job, from your spouse, from your kids, from whatever. And once you have that, and this comes the hard part, you gotta respect that. Which means that if your job doesn't respect one of these non-negotiables, you gotta quit your job. If your partner doesn't respect one of these non-negotiables, you gotta let them go. If your kids don't respect your non-negotiables, well, you have to... I'm definitely going to hell. No, I'm just kidding. You gotta deal with them, but it's another topic. But you need a list of boundaries. And you need them to respect these boundaries. And once you have this list of non-negotiables, well, this will give you a skeleton, a certain frame that will allow you to be free inside of this frame and go explore and see what you want, and this will help you channel and clarify what's your vision. And with this, you'll be able to know with more clarity what you want and then go towards that direction. Now, the third pillar about how to avoid depression is working on your self-esteem. I've done a whole video about this, and it's gonna be the next video. So subscribe to this channel and click that notifications button so you can see the next video. And it's precisely about self-esteem. But let's talk a little bit about this today. So how to work on your self-esteem? First things, have boundaries. Most important, respect those boundaries, because just knowing them is not enough. You gotta respect them. You gotta cut people off if they don't respect them. You gotta tell people, hey, this is my boundary. Hey, I'm not comfortable with you doing this. Hey, I'm not comfortable with you saying this. And if they don't respect it, well, you just gotta let them go. So have boundaries for you. And even for you, boundaries for you from you. It's like keeping your promises to yourself. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. Get clear with what you're not gonna tolerate. Because in life, we don't have what we want. We have what we're able to tolerate. Now, second figure, this one was a huge one for me, playing our strengths. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. And the biggest self-esteem crusher here is comparison. It's looking at other people and comparing yourself with others, and just looking and envying other people and looking like, oh shit, I wish I could do that. I wish I could have that level of skill. I wish I could be that beautiful. I wish I would have that body. Stop, dude. Stop comparing. Instead of comparing, try to look on what are your strengths. What are your natural gifts, your natural talents, and start to play on that. And when you play on that, you're naturally going to level up and scale up and get better and better and better. And to give you a quick story for this thing is, like I said in the intro, I hate online coaches. And I was trying to kind of like copy other people, what they were doing, like people that were much more advanced than me. But the thing is, what they were doing was their strength, and it was exactly my weakness. And the moment I started to play on my strengths, which is actually doing this, is making these videos for you, well, I started to get better results, and I started, most importantly, to love the process and to have fun with it. Because when you play on your strengths, it's the moment where you're going to be the most inspired. It's the moment where you're going to be the most energized. It's the moment where you're going to be able to be the most productive and do the most. And guess what? People will not be able to compete with you because you like it and you're addicted to it. It's like a video game. And if I come back to the story, a new beginner coach is going to have a hard time competing with me on YouTube because I have the experience that comes with it. I have the passion to edit these videos, make these videos as good as possible for you guys. So play on your strengths and leave your weaknesses alone. And the last point here for self-esteem is deep inner work. And this is what we're talking about on this channel, is how you sort out these demons. How do you raise up that sense of value that you have for yourself, that sense of self-worth that you have for yourself. And I know this might sound woo-woo, but let's take a quick example, for example. Take a group of people that went to war. Some of them come out from the war and they have PTSD. Some of them come and they don't have PTSD. And we've done studies for this, and we've shown that people that have traumatic childhood experiences were more likely to have PTSD after war. So it doesn't matter what happens to you. Definitely there are some experiences that might happen to you that may put you down. The most important thing is what you do with them. And how do you feel about them, and what's your perception about yourself during these experiences. So the more you work on your own self-image, how much do you appreciate yourself? How much do you like yourself? How much do you love yourself? And I know that sounds cheesy, but what is your own sense of self-worth? And the more you can rise that up, the more your self-esteem will rise up, and the less likely you're gonna be to get depressed. Now, like I said before, a couple of days from now, there's the confidence and self-esteem video that's gonna come out, and we go deeper onto exactly precisely how do you rise up your confidence and how do you rise up your self-esteem. Make sure you click that notifications button so you have the videos as soon as it comes up. With that being said, this was Valentin. See you in the next video.